Nilikuwa kusema like it feels like in 20 years since we last did our podcast.
I know.
Lord gracious.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Anyway, hello guys and welcome to Mental Wealth Conversation with me, Derek Were, and of course
Lilian Simiu. I'm so happy that we are doing this again, Derek. It's been a minute.
Happy New Year, guys. Happy New Year. I know so many people have been asking, when are you guys releasing your next podcast? Guys, this year we are coming with a banger. We are going to be releasing our podcast almost every other week. So stay tuned. Keep it at Mental Wealth Conversation. And we are delighted, Lilian, to be part of this conversation, or to, share our stories and what we know about mental wealth. Lilian,
True.
What have you been up to as
I've been trying to be sane. Actually, as funny as it sounds, I really have been trying to just put my life in order, because you see the way January comes and everyone feels like it's a new slate. So I think there's that pressure to like be a new you, to change things about your life, to become better, Lilian version 2.0, those things.
Yeah.
There's that pressure, and in January I didn't do any of that, and I feel like it was a gradual process. Get your mind to it. Did my vision board halfway.
Wow.
Did my
vision board. Yeah,
did my vision board halfway. I've not even hung it. I did my vision board halfway. I need to complete that. What else?
Vision board is the same as writing resolution.
No, vision board is literally a board that you put your vision on using. So most of the people use magazines. So you get your board, then you get magazines, then whatever in that magazine that speaks to like your vision in any area, whether it's financially, whether it's spiritually, whether it's emotionally, whether it's romantically or relationship wise, family, whatever, you cut it and you put it to the board. So basically. Okay,
interesting. Some of us, we do resolutions. We just write resolution number 1, strengthen my relationship with God.
Resolution number 2,
be serious with life.
So vision board, I think vision board gives you leeway to even put activities like strengthening my relationship with God. What can I do? Can I join a Bible study? Put those activities. So but I also think it's no pressure. The thing I'd say is the intention. If your intention is right and your discipline is right, you don't need a vision board. You just you need to know what you want to do, and that's it, and you do it. That's what I've been up to. The year has started. 2022 is 2022. What have you been up to?
Maybe before I say what I've been up to, 2021 was a beautiful year for me.
Wow.
I think I
Did you get married?
Like
Did you
90%.
marry somebody's daughter?
I think I achieved 90% of my resolutions.
Congratulations.
It was a beautiful
This year we're giving people their flowers. Congratulations, Derek. I'm so proud of you.
I'm waiting for my flowers. Maybe before Valentine's. Valentine is coming. Where is your boyfriend?
You need to listen to our song. I don't know, she's like released an audio which is really funny. It's about Valentine's.
I'll try to catch up with Awinja.
But congratulations for achieving what you wanted to achieve in 2021.
One of the things I wanted to achieve is not to be in a relationship. I mean, it has not been an easy journey, but it has been a success. I don't know, you're laughing.
Are you in the streets?
I'm not joining the streets anytime soon. So anyway, I think
but congratulations on achieving whatever you wanted to achieve. It's really not easy, I acknowledge.
Thank you so much. I don't know about our listeners. Anyway, today we just want to focus on areas we need to focus on 2022. Maybe our mental wellness and how we want to structure it. Lilian, am I right or am I putting the wrong words?
No, it's right. We just want to talk about how can you make your mental health a priority. How do you prioritize it? How do you keep it at the top of your mind in your everyday activities? That's what we want to talk about. So you're right.
So basically, will I be right if I say putting my mental wellness as a priority starts with the kind of things I want to achieve and the methods I want to achieve them?
True. Because you see, your mental health is everything. And whether you achieve those things that you're saying you want to achieve, your resolutions, your goals, whatever it is that you want to achieve, it really depends on how good your mental health is.
Yeah.
That will be a big factor in saying whether you will make that money you want to make, whether you will be in that relationship you want to be in, whether your career will move forward. So your mental health is a big part of everything that you want to do, and I would say it's important that it's taken seriously.
Yeah. Maybe I can throw this question back to you. What are your plans for 2022 as far as your mental wellness is concerned? I know there are so many people who are listening in. They have dreams, they have goals, they want to achieve so many things, me included. And somebody is asking, how do I organize myself to ensure that maybe I prioritize my mental wellness and I achieve, at the same time, achieve all my goals that I desire to achieve, and I remain to be happy. I mean, most of us, most of the time, we want to be happy.
How do I maintain? What is my plan in 2022 when it comes to my mental health? I would say strengthen my tools, coping tools, and wait, I have lost my chain of thinking. But I would say what I want to do in 2022, you see the things we've been talking about, self-awareness, boundaries, that's what I mean by strengthening. Because I would, if I am not aware, I think in 2021 I thought it was my most self-aware year, but you learn more every day and you realize, my God, you don't know anything.
Yeah.
So being more aware of how I act and how it impacts me, and also how it impacts the next person. You understand?
Yeah.
So being aware in that sense, but also going back to being aware of where you're coming from, your history and your past, and how it's affecting you.
Yeah.
And being really intentional in resolving things that need to be resolved, because I think the one thing that I have experienced is catching myself by surprise because I have not resolved an issue, and it affected my mental health, and I just moved on. But then you find something triggers you, and it's a whole moment of overwhelm. So I would say my plan is to be more intentional in resolving issues, to be more aware of myself and also others. Like, I want my emotional intelligence to go to another level.
My challenge will be you giving us a life situation. I feel like you're giving us big terms. We want to feel like Lilian. Last year I did this, and from this year I want to 1, 2, 3 things. That is what we want to listen.
You want to put me on the spot so that people can tell me, you use us as examples in your podcast. Somebody ever told me that.
I remember
somebody told me, I felt like in that episode you were talking about me. I was like, yes, I was talking about you, but it was not in a bad way.
Was that your ex?
It wasn't my ex.
Oh, yeah.
It was just somebody I had a situation with, and I described it, and he listened. I didn't know he would listen to it.
No, my ex-girlfriend is one of our biggest listeners.
I know. What's her name? Wait. Yes.
And sometimes she's like, so ungenipigia tu niambie, instead of, but she's a big fan. She has always been, when are you guys listening the next episode? I love listening to that podcast. Yeah, she's a big fan. Fan. Yeah, and many other people outside there. Back to you, and you're telling us something about your plan 2022 as far as your mental wellness is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you for putting me on the spot and wanting juice about my life.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll try. I won't mention names, but I'll give an example. Last year, I had somebody, let's say around May.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said something to me, and I felt like whatever they said to me was unfair, but I ignored it. And after I ignored this thing, the months passed, and in around November, somebody else said something to me so this other person that said that thing to me is in close relations with this other person. So in that moment, I felt like these people were talking about me in a way that is not very positive. So in that moment, I was triggered, and I didn't react nicely. My reaction wasn't how I would want to react in a situation like that. And later on, I went back and realized, my reaction was bad. And I was still hurt. That didn't take the fact that I was still hurt. The reaction of the other person wasn't good either, but I'm just here to take responsibility for mine. So I was hurt, and yes, I just typed a message and told this person, I'm sorry that I reacted the way I reacted.
Yeah.
And that was that. But in that moment, I realized whatever happened months ago had affected me, and I should have maybe confronted this person in that time and asked them, what did you mean by that? Why did you say that? Because I felt like whatever was said was very unfair. So that is my practical example. So in 2022, I don't want to assume anything. Like, if you say something to me, or you do something in that moment, I want to be able to tell you, you know what, I don't want to assume that I can deal with it, because I think that's what I did in that situation. I assumed that I can deal with it. But you see, this thing is a very double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Because, Derek, I can tell you, I can be out here wanting to communicate in a very healthy way to tell you this thing, but you see how you will react is another thing. And I think that has been big of a reason of why I don't want to confront people or directly tell them they've hurt me, because most of the people will get on the defensive, and you see that doesn't solve anything. So I'd rather not go through that, because I'm already feeling bad. I don't want to talk to you and then feel worse. So that's what I want to do in 2022.
Wow. Wishing you all the best.
I need the wishes because it's not easy. It's not easy to be very because I have not grown up being very confrontational.
Easy sao.
Confronting.
Inakaa ulikula membe mingi sana in January. But it is well.
Confrontational.
It is well.
I don't want to be I have not grown up being very confrontational. But now I am considerably. People say I am confrontational. So, but what am I saying? So that's my plan. I want to be more direct in my communication. I want to honor myself by saying exactly what I feel in the moment in which I feel. Yes.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah. What's your plan?
I have so many plans. Number one, I'll be very direct. I want to cut people. I'm already cutting people.
Cut them off. We have a scissors here. We are cutting you guys off.
By cutting is, for me, I think I want to grow. And I think sometimes when we remain in the same field we were in last year, we don't grow.
True.
Cutting for me is, of course, there are people who are still draining me as friends, and I need new energy, new vibe. That is one of my biggest focus. Number two, another thing that I want to do or to focus more on, I want to keep on being lonely.
You still want to be single?
Yes.
Valentine's
One thing I think I was telling you before we even began recording it is I've had difficult moments last year staying single. Mm-hmm. There are moments when you're like, I think I need
being
somebody.
Single and staying single are two different things.
Yeah, and me I'm saying genuine singleness. Kuna zile za
see ati uko in a talking stage with somebody. I think that has also been okay.
Not even the talking stage. Kuna zile za my friends with benefit. We're not dating, but for me I've been very deliberate.
Yeah.
Totally single. And I chose to do this because I have been a codependent in my previous life, where I need to be where people are. I need to be with relationships to feel happy. I need people to validate me. And all that stuff. So I needed to take myself through fire, so that baptism of fire, so that I can completely be okay. So there are moments last year was so tough for me. I remember I was like, making phone calls. Niaja, are you coming through? And for some reason,
what are you doing?
Can you come? We chill. Can we cook something together?
You start replying to statuses of people who
you stopped talking to 10 years ago.
Yeah, and I saw a meme today saying the easiest way to get to talk to someone is replying to their status. And I was like, you're right. Because even me, you remember that I was telling you that somebody texted me yesterday. Somebody that should not be texting me because we haven't spoken to in years,
your
right?
Ex.
Somebody that
tell the listeners your ex.
I am sure that person won't. No, it's a word of possibilities. I was like, I'm sure that person can't listen to this podcast. but you never know. You never know, because if it's somebody who watches your status, they could just decide to click on that link
which is good,
and see the way but and this person replied to my status yesterday, and I'm like, okay, why now? But you're trying to ask people, are you coming through, sliding the DMs,
like, sliding the DMs, but who is God? Things were not working. I think I tried that for almost a week and they were not working. And I think it was that point when I was not sure, should I be single or should I get somebody? But I go through that journey and I bounced back being single again. Coming into 2022, I'm more comfortable with myself. I'm reducing my interaction even at my workplaces with people, and it is reviving back the vibe that I think was lost in me many years ago. I was telling you earlier on that I want to accommodate somebody in my life after I have the capability to fully say I can be happy without external factors. So once I get to that point, then I can allow somebody else to come in.
Yeah, you don't want to be codependent. What did I eat?
Codependency.
You don't want to be codependent.
Yeah, codependent. So that is one of my biggest goals, and I have to achieve, and I believe I'll achieve.
You will, of course you will.
Yeah. The other aspect is spiritual. I think I want to nourish my relationship with my maker, to make it more better. I think it is important for all of us, regardless of what we do in life. There's a way it affects our day-to-day activities. If we fail to connect with our maker, then we are failing miserably. Number, I don't know which number, but again, the kind of activities and engagements I want to put myself into are things that I'm happy attending them. And that starts with me deliberately telling people I'm not coming for your event. You may take it in a bad way, but I want to be very direct. There are events, there are people before you meet them, they're going to drain you, for example. There are places, if you go, you'll feel dehumanized, So this time I'm very deliberate. I am not attending, I'm not going. I have started to read books on personal growth and development. I think last year, one of the best books I read last year was The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. It is giving you the rhythms of reality that things will happen. Suffering is part of life. Sometimes we are lied to that if you are suffering, then things are not okay with you. But I believe in mental health, even in psychology, we are told that you need to accept. When situations come, accept. The first things you do is you accept. It will help you in healing faster. But when you shield, you don't heal faster. So I'm reading books. Right now I'm reading Eckhart Tolle book, The Power of Now. The ability to just be present in the things you're doing. If I'm talking to Lilian, for example, having the power and the ability to be present in that conversation, to listen to you. Most of the time we are easily distracted by our phone, by other factors. Your mind is in the future, for example. So, Lilian, there are many moments we place ourselves ahead of time. Like we're having a conversation, but your mind is rushing. You think about the future, and then you develop anxiety, fear. Sometimes our future scares us most than our present, or you take your mind back to your past. But this book is bringing me to the aspect of you can be present, listen to your rhythm, to your breathing pattern. Just be present in the moment and feel the vibe. Sometimes if we, regardless of how far we take our minds to the future, we have little capacity by that moment to change what will happen in the future. But if we decide to be fully present, we will do so much. So that is the other thing. Social media for me is another place I'm trying to, and I'm deliberately going to avoid. On my lowest moment in 2020, I could wake up in the morning, nianze kuview status, and I'm like, gosh, I think I'm the one suffering in this world. If you are having a contact of around 400 people, roughly that morning around 30 people have posted something nice about their life. They went to eat at Villarosa Kempiski. They met their dream boss and everything, and all those sort of things. And when you're in your lowest moment, social media is never the best place to be. I remember last year when between January and April, I had cut off myself completely from social media. That is Facebook, Twitter, and WhatsApp. Most of my communication, I was hardly doing it on WhatsApp, and it greatly improved my presence within myself and allowed me to walk the path I can walk. So I still believe I don't want to be drained by social media. I think social media, for those, at least I've read their books or their work, it is developed in a way to ensure you're fully present. And sometimes when you spend most of your time on it, you can easily be drained. And like, discover this year, there are so many toxic people on social media. Trust you me, there are people who are just having so many other issues on social media, and they're waiting for you to do something or to say something, and they're on your neck. They're always ready to bust you out. They're always ready to respond anyhowly. So yeah, those are some of the things I want to work on as far as my mental wellness is concerned, and I'm so deliberate about them. I cannot compromise. For me, even the kind of phone calls I make, sometimes when I know there are phone calls, of course not work phone calls, but friends phone calls that I know will drain me, and I'm not ready to be drained, I don't pick them or I don't make those calls.
Important.
Yeah, so those are some of the highlights for me 2022. Yeah,
you have a lot of things you want to do. I just said like one thing.
you said like what? It doesn't have to be so many.
I understand. I'm just joking. But there's a lot more, of course, I want to do. I want to say something about spirituality. And I was actually reading before I came here, because I know there's a correlation between spirituality and mental health. And initially, people used to say that spirituality is actually the thing that is causing people to not be mentally healthy or causing challenges mentally. But right now, a lot of studies are showing that spirituality supports being able to be in touch with your spirit, your maker, prayer, whatever it is for you, is a great contributor to your mental health. And I was reading a journal, Indian Journal of Psychiatry, and they were talking about there's a article that was written about spirituality and mental health, and they were saying basically that most of the psychiatrists or psychologists are encouraging their patients to be spiritual. You understand? Whether it's through prayer, because it provides a sense of hope, comfort that helps in your mental health. So actually, this I would encourage, whatever it is for you, whether you're Muslim, Christian, or whatever. Spirituality is not something that you want to ignore if you want to be mentally healthy. It's actually been proven that spirituality helps and contributes positively to people's mental health.
Yeah.
Yes. So for me also, that is something that I want to take seriously going forward this year as to help my mental health. And I can say for me, the more times I am in touch with God, the less I have anxiety, the less I have all these things that challenge me mentally. So that's what I wanted to say about spirituality. Yeah. But another thing I also wanted to say is, you see, we talk about mental health, but for some people, they don't even understand. For somebody, maybe your goal is just to understand, might be to just understand what is mental health. Because most of the people don't know what mental health is. To also understand what does it mean for me when I am okay.
Yeah.
Because okay can be a feeling, yes, but how do you measure that feeling? You feel okay, but what are you using to measure your okayness? Is it your achievements? Is it your relationship? What are you using? And interrogate some of these things that make you quote unquote okay, and see if they're sustainable. Because if some of these things are taken out of your life, then there you are and you're just disintegrating. So analyze what it is for you that means, like, if me, Lilian, I am okay, does it okay mean I have money, I'm a billionaire? Or does okay mean my friendships are intact, or a certain friendship is intact? Does okay mean I'm in a relationship? Does okay mean...
Most of the... You're raising very important questions.
Yeah.
You'll realize most of these things are defined by external factors. For example, if my okay means being in a relationship, you may find that within my friendships, every other person's relationship is working. By me saying my okayness is having $1 billion in my account, my interaction, maybe I spend a lot of time watching videos of billionaires, admire billionaires who I want to be like them, and that is my okay. So I don't know whether this okay should be from within and a within that has limited interruptions with the external world, or I don't know what it means. I don't know how you'll explain that.
As I was saying, okay, you need to interrogate your okay, because okay is different for everybody, and ask yourself, is this okay, my okay state, is it coming from a point that is sustainable? Because if it's external, if it's Derek who is defining my okayness, then definitely that is not sustainable.
So it is wrong for me to desire to be in a relationship because
for me people
around me are dating.
Yes. Be in a relationship because maybe it's time, maybe you've met the one, but not because everyone is in a relationship, not because you're expected to be in a relationship at a certain age, not because it's trendy. Be in a relationship because of actually a solid reason. So I would say some of these external factors and people, society, expectations are what defines our okay. And we've normalized things that, like, for example, you having to rely on your friends or your partner for happiness, or your job, or the money you get. Like, some people, their identity is their job.
Yeah.
I am Derek, I am a programmer. And that's all we know about
There's a friend of mine who was telling me, he told me some time back, there are people who are working and they think they're mentally okay because they're earning.
Yes.
The moment they lose that job, that is when they realize there are things they never resolved.
You fall apart so badly. So yes, this is my suggestion to whoever is listening. Sit down and ask yourself, what does it mean for me? Insert your name. For me, Lilian, if I am okay, what does it mean? And what is the source of this okayness? Is it money? Is it friendships? Is it a person? For some people it's a person. Is it a place? What does it mean? And how can you, if it's external, then how can you make your okay come from something that is more sustainable? Yeah, I think that's what I would say. I don't know if you have anything to add.
I completely concur with you. We need to, I think most of the things I've said about my plan for 2022 is internal affairs, domestic affairs,
Ministry of Interior.
That is my agenda. I think
foreign relations
for now international relations tumewachia watu wengine.
Tawe means no.
No, yeah, in our local dialects, some of us. So my achievements will be defined by what do I feel from within. Like for me, I think spending a time reading a book, spending time alone, cooking once in a while with friends defines me. These are not factors that have been defined by other external factors, So for me, I think, and what you're saying is, it is important for us to be defined from within. Otherwise, you will never experience happiness. Maybe to add, there is a guy, I don't know whether I ever shared on our podcast. There's a guy who was part of a band in the United States, and that band was really successful. They were making millions, and they were getting to signing brands. They're signing partnerships with big brands. So there's one point they were signing a very big partnership, which was going to elevate them to earn up to $500 million, a contract of 2-3 years. It was many years back. So sadly, this guy was dropped. Let us call him Peter. Peter was dropped from that band. It was one of the hardest moments for him. He felt betrayed, and he was hurt, deeply hurt. So this guy went on and formed his own band. His band, after years, started to pick up. I'll give an example of maybe Harmonize and maybe Diamond. Maybe we can relate. Harmonize leaving Wasafi and then forming his own band and everything. He's making money. But this guy, Peter, never, by the time he was dying, he was never happy. Because his desire was to make more money than the band he left. That band was big. They were making now billions. He was making close to $1 billion. But his desire, his goal was always to get back, to revenge. Yeah. So imagine a career of 30 years he lived, never happy. the band, other people in the band were happy, they were making money, they were making good cash, everybody was happy about their work and everything. But by the time he was dying a very sad man. My whole aspect in this is, if you decide external factors to decide your happiness, you'll die at times never a happy man or never a happy woman. So let us do introspection to know really what we want, and let us these desires be from within.
True.
Truly from within.
And I just to borrow from the story you have given, for Peter, quote unquote, to want to make more money than the band, it means success for him is money.
Yeah, first of all, success for him is money.
Yeah, so then definitely if he's not making money, then he thinks he's not successful.
Yeah.
And I think money is a good thing. I like money. But I think the idea of success is how much money you make is really overrated. Because we see...
You can repeat that again. I know kuna watu watatutumia message.
Watatukana baya sana. Ombea nipe hiyo pesa uko nayo. Give me the money you have.
Yeah.
I'm saying money, the idea of money equates success is not true. It's not factual, because money is a means to an end. It's not an end in itself. Money helps you get stuff done, and that's it. Money is not the thing. Because I'm asking you, because I'm looking for money. You're looking for money. Are you looking for money so that you can sit here with it and smile at it? You're looking for money so that you can use it.
So I can go to my
Maldives.
travel destination.
Exactly.
Everybody's talking about Maldives. Oh.
So, money is a means to an end. And that's it. It's not an end in itself.
Yeah.
So money, the idea of money giving you the happiness, or money solving all your problems, is not it. Money is not going to make you happy. Of course it can distract you, but it's not going to make you happy. And that's why we see cases of suicide by very wealthy, extremely wealthy people. I mean, they had everything they want, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But that in itself shows you
emptiness.
They didn't have everything.
Yeah.
Apart from having money. And the sad truth is, and I like to say that the sad truth is, for some people money is all they have. Yeah. Money is all you have, and that's a dangerous thing that's a dangerous position to be in. So for me, I'd say also define for yourself what is success. Is it money? If it's money you might need to think again, because you will get that money. You know, Adenkule says money, in his song It Is What It Is, he talks about money and how he got money and realized money is not everything, but he doesn't want to be a hypocrite. He prays you get your own money too. So I pray you get your money, but in the midst of getting money, also think about other things that can ground you as an individual. Invest in yourself so that if you end up a billionaire, being a billionaire is not all you will be. Yeah.
Wow. I have nothing to add. You
have nothing to add. So I really wanted to talk about that money, the success part, and defining what mental health is for yourself.
Yeah.
Because, and what is being healthy for you, what is success for you, those things, what is happiness for you, what is an ideal relationship for you. Because I feel like in this society we have normalized a lot of things that are just not right. Yesterday I was having a conversation with my friend, and we were talking about how single motherhood has been glorified, and she was giving me a story about how she visited a home, and this home is of a single mother, and you could see that there's something wrong with this child, because this friend of mine went with her husband, and this child kept clinging to her husband, kept crying, even when they were leaving, this was crying. So you could see there was something wrong.
Yeah, the kid was yearning for a father figure.
There's something missing with this guy.
Yeah.
So I was just using that example to say it is not okay to intentionally just want to be a single mom. Like, you are affecting a child. This child is being affected.
That is being selfish.
Yeah. So if things don't work out, that's a different story. But those people who just go out intentionally wanting to be a single mother, you might want to rethink. And I was just using that example to put out the kind of things, a lot of things we have been normalizing, which are not okay, and we need to ask ourselves, is this where we want to head as a society? So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about, defining what is happiness for you, defining what is peace for you, defining even who you are, because the issue of people being, of other things being your identity, like your career can be your identity, your relationship can be your identity. I am Mrs. I am Mrs. I am Mama, I am Baba. Get to know yourself, like separate yourself from everything, and see, if me, Lilian Ekesasimiu, am I happy with just that? If today I wasn't hosting the mental health podcast, I wasn't anyone's significant other, I didn't have a job, would I be okay with that? Or this is everything that, if I didn't have any friends, would I be okay? Or my significance has been attached to all these other things. And make no mistake, I don't mean that having no friends is not important, but we want you to, our call, I guess, is to just help you see a healthy way to exist in this, whatever, career, friendships, or whatever. Because if you don't have an identity before you get into this relationship, or before you get into this career, you make this relationship, this career, or whatever you're getting into your identity, and then you depend on it for joy or happiness or whatever, or for peace. And if this thing is taken away, then you can't function, and it's a disaster.
True.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Wow, today has been enlightening from my co-host Lilian Simiu. I have nothing to add.
You have nothing to add.
I have nothing to add.
You have, okay, for me, I think there's one thing that I've been preaching about, and I think it will be synonymous to my name, is self-awareness. And I want to insist again. I know I have talked about it earlier in this podcast, but self-awareness is really something that we need to practice. And I talk about self-awareness because I believe it's a tool that can really help you understand yourself and also build capacity. Because if I'm able to understand, for example, I have anger issues, it's easy for me to build capacity to deal with anger issues.
Yeah.
You understand? If I'm able to understand I am traumatized, or I have PTSD, or I have issues, unresolved issues from my past, from my childhood, from my past relationships, it's easy for me to build capacity, to work on that and build capacity to move ahead as a stronger person, as a person who is more aware, as a person who, a person who is just doing better, know better and do better kind of thing. So I would really insist in 2022, be self-aware. Don't do things just for doing. Don't do things just because you feel like doing. And before I forget what I wanted to say, I know most of the people listening to us are Kenyans, and we are about to vote. 9th of August, we are going to vote. And I'm going to talk about something that I've experienced. Politics is very emotional. And you have to understand that whichever candidate that you support is not a matter of life and death.
Yeah, sure. It is.
And we are going to have a lot of debates, conversations, just chats about politicians and who's going to win and who's the best. But it's not worth insulting somebody over. Because I personally have been insulted with somebody. So it's not worth, and it's not once, it's happened a lot of times. It's not worth insulting somebody over, but also the reason I want to talk about this is also to create boundaries in that area. You don't have to indulge in every political conversation. I think that's something I also practice myself.
Yeah. I'm
practicing myself. You don't have to indulge in every political conversation, because most of these political conversations are not, you wouldn't say that they're productive, fruitful conversations. It's just conversations that can be really draining, because there's nothing substantial that people would be talking about.
True.
So if you need to step out from a conversation, if you need to disengage, it's okay. Take that step.
You remind me of the times you're talking about boundaries.
Yeah.
And we mentioning intellectual boundaries.
Yes.
You respect somebody's views, but if you feel like you need to disengage,
it is okay to
disengage. Yeah. It is not a matter of life.
It's not. You don't have to defend your candidate, whether it's that MCA of yours, your friend, whether it's your MP. You don't need to defend them. You can defend them at the ballot by voting for them.
Yeah.
But if it has a toll on you on your mental health, because most of us, I realize, unfortunately, we do not have the capacity to have discussions with people that have opposing views. We believe that our way is the right way, or what we think
it is this way or no.
Yes, it is what I think, and what everyone else think is wrong. But it's not like that. Most of us don't have that capacity, so you have to acknowledge that. And if you need to disengage, please disengage for the sake of your mental health, because we are going to see a lot of words flying around, and your peace is important. Your mental health is important, and prioritize it by keeping away from conversations that are not helpful.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Sure, I think I wanted to add something on self-awareness. There's a book I read last month by James Clear.
You've been reading.
I'm trying.
Feel pressured.
I'm trying. James Clear, Atomic Habits. I think everybody wants to read Atomic Habits. Says that a lack of self-awareness is poison. The reflections and reviews are the anecdote. That is important for us to do reflections and reviews. I try nowadays. There's a guy, I remember, is it Gratitude? Yesterday I had a very bad, not really bad day, but I felt like my day was too wasteful. But before I slept, I was like, I need to do some gratifications, things I feel like I've done and I've achieved. I reviewed and I was like, wow, I think I've achieved so many things today.
Wow.
And that gratification alone gave me power to begin my following day. Remember, I woke up today excited. I've done most of the things I was supposed to do, and I'm still energetic. I want to keep on doing, I just want to see things done, being done. So I think having a moment to appreciate the things you have done, regardless of how small it is or it may sound. If you're able to wake up and spread your bed, that's an achievement. If you're able to wake up and brush your teeth, sometimes that energy alone of brushing teeth lacks. So always have that moment.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
You see, everything I know and I've read about mental health and mental health challenges has always pointed back to perspective. Because, and I'm sorry to use this example, you see, everyone goes through a tough time. And the reason why some people give up and some people don't is perspective. How you decide to look at things. How you decide to see the situation. You understand? So if your perspective is one that drags you down, then it means that it will be very difficult for you to get ahead. But what you mentioned, gratitude sets your perspective in a different, your mindset in a way that elevates it, and therefore it makes it even easier to do something. If I'm grateful I was able to accomplish one thing, I would be able to accomplish another. But if I'm here feeling like, my gosh, I didn't even accomplish anything, it would be hard for me to try anything the next day, because I feel like I didn't accomplish anything.
Absolutely.
But if you take account and say, I was able to accomplish this, I was able to accomplish this, however small, even the next day you can be able to accomplish another thing that is small. But if you feel like I didn't accomplish anything, which sometimes is not true, is not factual, you definitely accomplished something. Maybe your expectations were this high and you're not able to get to that. So I think gratitude is a tool that you really should use. And also the other thing I wanted to do this year for myself is counting the wins. I usually hear this thing, but it dawned on me last year. Me, Derek, if I do something, I just do. I don't take time to see I accomplished this, I just move. So I rarely take time to see what are the achievements. But the losses I always know. But the achievements, very, very, very difficult for me to say. But you see, that tampers with you because you're not able to track yourself. Yeah, you're not able to track and say, I came from here and now I'm here. It's difficult. So for me, I think the other thing, to just also keep yourself sane and in a balanced way, acknowledges your achievements and your losses in a very objective way. Yeah. As objective as it can get. If you need to do it with somebody, do it. It will help you get ahead.
Yeah. Wow. We will kill our listeners with content. We have just started.
Will we?
Brace yourself for
Valentine's is coming. Some amazing content for Valentine's.
Oh wow. Yeah, where is your boyfriend?
Where is your girlfriend?
I'm happy being alone, and anyway.
In the singles podcast.
I think for today we are done.
Yeah, thank you so much for listening. You can share this podcast out. You can talk to us about what you're doing to keep your mental health in check in 2022, so that we can also borrow from what you're doing. And as usual, you can reach out to us and tell us what you want. What kind of content do you want? Of course, it's mental health content. Do you want more guests? What do you want in 2022? What do you want us to highlight? Yeah, what do you want? What topic are you just waiting for us to talk about and we've never talked about? Tell us all those things. And I am excited. I am energetic for this year, and I am sure you're gonna have a lot more episodes than you did last year. Yeah, and it's an honor really to just do this, and I am hoping that we can do this more often. Thank you so much for listening. Please have a good year, have a good week, have a good day wherever you are, and see you next time. Listen to you next time.
Goodbye.